Jump back into one question. Your upbringing, as in were you raised by both your parents?
I was raised by my mom. My dad was in and out of prison. So,
Okay.
Yep.
So what would you say would be one thing, you did say you came up as a Jehovah's Witness, even after leaving that, what's one thing that your mother has instilled in you that you still hold today, even in consciousness, that ain't steered you wrong?
This is good character. My mom got good character. At the end of the day, although she might be gone in that belief system, she still has a sense of decency about herself and a sense of good character. You feel me? So, like, she's not a foul person. You feel what I'm saying? She might be misled, but she's not foul. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I ain't never been foul to nobody. You feel me? So, like, there's nobody that can come out and say, this dude, his character is off. You know what I mean? So, because of that, and her having that same type of characteristic and me picking it up from her, I think that's what I got from my mom.
Powerful. Speaking of Ewa, let's talk about that. Because I'll share, like, one thing I learned, and I like that you said that, just even as somebody is under a different spiritual system, their character will still be intact as a black person. And that was one thing I picked up in Africa. We get on Christians so much. I even went to church in Africa, and the people treated me great. Even I told one Catholic dude, I'm interested in practicing voodoo, and he looked at me crazy, but he didn't treat me foul, none of the rest of the way. What do you think is the issue, because I'm going to say it's an issue in our community, conscious African that you want to say, that we have all these titles, but the character is trash? What do you think is up with our character? Why can we get all the high science in the world and quote all that, but our character, what do you think is blocking that?
In the conscious community.
Yes. Right? Dang, people that know better. We're not talking about people that don't know. We're talking about people that know better.
That's a really good question, bro. That's a really good question. And I know exactly what you're talking about, And you got a lot of people in the conscious community that know all the knowledge, but they got pimp mentalities. You feel what I'm saying? They want to pimp the people for their money.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Cash out.
Yeah, all of that, And it's like they want to charge you for this, that, X, Y, Z. I said to people, like, I have never heard when the leaders or the elders of any black revolutionary history charge the people for the information in order to get free. Like, where in the Haitian Revolution did the elders of the Haitian Revolution, when did Queen Annie of Jamaica or Boukman Duddy charge the people and say, hey, look, let's meet, we're going to talk about how we're going to break away from this white man. But 1995. Make sure you bring 1995. Like, that I've ever heard of. I would need someone to show me where in the history of any black freedom, any black revolutionary, any black real society where the elders charge the people for the information to help them get free. To me, that don't make sense. People say, oh, elders gotta eat, they gotta make money, they gotta sell lectures, sell books, and this and that. And I'm like, okay, then why don't you learn how to fix a car? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't learn how to, do something? There's many skills that you can do to make money, but how is it that the information that is vital to saving African people have to have a price tag on it for African people? To me, that there's a scam going on right there. In terms of the question, to be more pointed towards it, I just really think that's a good question in terms of how maybe people are following the leader. Maybe people being led by foul people are picking up these foul types of ways, and that's why their character is shot. You know what I mean? Because you're being led by people who are just in it for a few dollars in their pocket. They just want to get old and go away and die peacefully with a nice house or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? They're not worried about ultimately freeing African people and paying whatever ultimate price that might bring. You feel what I'm saying? Whether it's to be destitute or whether it's to die. You feel what I'm saying? Or even to kill. Because that's another thing too. I hate that whole I'm ready to die shit. I'm ready to die. I'm gonna die. Are you willing to kill for African people? Are you ready to kill for African people? To me, it's easier to die. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think black people have done a whole lot of dying.
Too much.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on with the killing. Like, that's where you, to me, you showed me some character. You feel me? So all this, being willing to die, like, I don't want to hear none of that. That don't move on that. But yeah.
No, we're going to get into that,
Yeah.
killing and dying, because we doing a whole lot of dying and marching.
Right.
But I did want to follow back, because you hit on a great point of the pimping of our information, because like I pride myself on not asking. I have a business and I have my own thing. I work as all men should. We work and we go out and we make money to finance what we want to do. So and we already know black people are living in a poverty situation somewhat. So why is it that we feel it's okay to ask black people to fund us when we should be funding our own self? So my question more so is why do you think black people would rather beg for somebody to support their visions with the Cash App or donate to me, opposed to going out and doing something, as you just said, like learn to fix a car, learn to do this. You want to charge on liberation, but you don't want to go out and finance yourself to serve your people. Why do you think?
Laziness, pimp mentality again. That's just pimp mentality. A pimp he lives off of the work of other people. You feel what I'm saying? He gives them a good feeling. You feel me? He pretends to his harem or his women that he's the best thing for them and that they can't live without him or whatever comes out of his mouth without his information or whatever, and they keep bringing them that money. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a laziness, it's a pimp mentality, it's a corrupt thing, it's corruption. But what I'm saying is there are some things that should be sacred. You feel me? And I believe that when it comes to the freedom of African people, if you love African people, then if you have information that is vital to maintaining the freedom of African people, then that information should be given to African people from your heart. You feel what I'm saying?
I agree.
So if I ain't talking about, I'm entertaining. Fine, you're an entertainer. You get paid to entertain. You feel what I'm saying? Again, all these different trades that you could do. You feel what I'm saying? You can sell food. I know my sister, she sells food. She does a good job. You feel what I'm saying at that? She put in work to do that. You feel me? But I believe when you're doing race work, to put in work for the race, that's for the race. That's you chuck that up. That's what you're supposed to do as a good African.
So, sane African.
As a sane African.
Right.
So in terms of I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Like I do a lot. I do art. I paint. You know what I'm saying? I used to make music. I want to make one album. You know what I'm saying? Just one album and just say I did that. Just to say I did that. But I do a lot of different things. I'm really good with my hands. I build things and all of that. But I'm not charging for the information though for African people. When I had the children's books, I illustrated some children's books. I don't know, some of you guys might be familiar with Sankofa SuperHerus children's books. I illustrated those 2 volumes and I bought them off of Amazon. So I paid a certain amount for the books. I was selling those books for the price that I paid for them. You feel what I'm saying? I was giving them away a lot of times. You know what I mean? If I know that this was a black person going to read this book to an African child, it's yours. You feel what I'm saying? That's my donation to the cause. A lot of times when people was like, well, how much? I'm like, well, you can give me what you want. You feel what I'm saying? But I wasn't really charging people like that. You feel what I'm saying? You can give me what you think is worth. You feel what I'm saying? But it's not no ultimatum. You can't have this if you don't give me this. You feel what I'm saying? Not for something like that. For the mind of an African child. Nah, it's too important to me for that. You feel me? I can make money in so many other ways. I got hustle. You feel what I'm saying? I can make money in so many other ways.
Exactly.
Why would I try to monetize African freedom?
Right, because it ain't no return on this, as we all know. So it's like, what are we looking to get? If it's freedom that we going for, why are we charging? This dollar is not really going to be. It's not even equal. What I'm giving you, that's gonna help you 100% of your life, and you gonna help other black people with it. $1 ain't shit to that. So I agree with you fully on that. And you name those books for the children that will be watching and let them know where they can get them.
Yeah, well, they're available on Amazon. As a matter of fact, Sankofa SuperHerus, SanKofa, and then SuperHerus, like after Heru, Kemet. So SuperHerus. You know what I mean? You type that into Amazon, they'll pop up. It's 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. They dedicated to the warrior ancestors. The people that you're gonna see in those books is people like Kalyd Muhammad, people like Menkheperra to really made it. Because a lot of times when we learn about history and we talk about historical people, they always bring up Dr. King. They bring up all of these people who fought with by beating people up with their face against other people's fists. You feel what I'm saying? You know, they was breaking people's fists with their face. You feel me? And like, that's not the type of ancestor that we should be teaching our children to follow after.
I agree. So that's powerful. We got brothers out here, you know, illustrating books for our babies to let them know that you don't have to die. It's not the standard. And let them know that there are black people in antiquity and now that have stood up to oppression. We just don't hear about them.
Right. We don't hear about them. And,
So
if they do let us know about them, they make sure to let you know about the ones who white supremacy was able to eventually capture or kill. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
They really don't want us to know the stories about the ones who were successful at fighting against white supremacy, running the Klan out of their towns and out of their cities and out of their states, and still living to be old men, like the Deacons for Defense or Robert F. Williams and down at Monroe and the group of brothers that he banded together to fight against the Klan. You feel me? Them brothers lived to be old men with black wives. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, Black Lives Matter. Black
Lives Matter all day. And we're going to get into that. And I want to follow up what you said. I think that's the most important thing that you need to put out to the youth. Or we need to put out to the youth. Let me correct myself. Of that, all revolutionaries don't die young. So you know, because we have the standard of, you're just going to die, brother, don't do that. Or they're going to take your money, brother. You ain't going to be able to work talking like that. And it's just like, nah, because black men have done it. They got old and they died. Nobody killed them. They had some children, had their wives. And can still say, yeah, I fought the war when I needed to. And I think that's very important to change that narrative of, you know, the broke revolutionary or the revolution that's going to die early. It's a lot of ways to be a revolutionary. It's a lot of ways to fight the war. And I think, you know, with a lot of black people, we have these cinematic minds from watching these movies and think fighting this war is just going out and busting your gun on five crackers or something. But it's like, really, feeding your man. I tell one thing that I got from my father is just going to work, and you learn a lot of a black man just being home and being present. That's one of the biggest ways we can fight this war. Is go home at night. You know, put your money where it need to be. Raise your children. You know, it's really a lot of basic life skills that we can do, that we can fight this war much better by being present than going out busting some gun on probably 2 crackers.
Oh, if they some selective ones.
Right.
You know, like them ones, them hitters, them ones that's actually got their hands in the pot of directly affecting the lives of African people. And we get to it, we good. But yeah, I do agree. I do agree to a large degree. But I do not want to discount, you know, brothers who is willing to bust that gun.
Yeah, shout out to, you know, the season is upon us. Michael X.
Right.
Gavin Eugene Long. You know, we coming.
Yeah. Hey, the Sandra Bland Avenger. Nobody ever talks about the Sandra Bland Avenger.
Talk about
it. I mean, because, you know, we always hear, you know, they always try to put these narratives out there to divide black men and women or to degrade what black men have done for African people. You feel me? Like Brother Ram always says, my brother, shout out to my brother Ram, no man, not the Chinese man, not the Mexican man, not the Asian man, not the Hispanic man, not the freaking, what other are they out there? No man in this country, the Arab man has ever fought against white supremacy like the black man has in this nation. You can't name any other movement or group that has fought as hard and been repressed and fought back hard against than the black man.
I agree 100% with you on that, and I think that's why African Americans should. A lot of us, we feel kind of low because of slavery, but when you really lay down that we've been on this land, in a foreign land under this war, and we still been fighting. Non-stop fighting. We done built, they done destroyed, we still done built. And you know, when we look at that, you just got to look at the resiliency and the fact that we ain't gave up and we still here. So we need to be proud of our history in America. We may not like it here, but brothers and sisters have been putting in that work, time and time again, and even with nothing. So it's just a beautiful thing. I'm glad you said that.